Welcome to Age Friendly Cleveland. My name is Mary McNamara, and I'm the director of the Cleveland Department of Aging. Across our country, we have what we call an aging network of services because no one division of government, agency, hospital system, or faith-based group provides all the services an older adult might need to age successfully. As examples, some older adults may need transportation or in-home health care, modifications to the home, or resources for staying engaged after retirement. It is our hope with this Age Friendly Cleveland series that you might learn more about the resources right here in Cleveland. This next segment is about one of the trusted agencies we work closely with every day to make Cleveland an age-friendly city.
Hello and welcome to Age Friendly Cleveland. I'm your host, Dan Monroe. Thanks for joining us. Today we're talking about vision disabilities, vision impairments, and resources that are there for you. My guest today is Larry Benders, President and CEO of the Cleveland Sight Center. Larry, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Dan. Good to see you.
You know, tell me a bit about yourself. Before we learn about the Sight Center, tell me about you. How long have you been with the Sight Center? How long have you been leading the charge, so to say?
Thanks. I'm the CEO of the Sight Center. I've been on board for 4.5 years, but I'm a business guy. I have an undergrad degree from Yale, at Kellogg, have MBA, and lots of years in the corporate world. And so the board brought me in to help the Sight Center. It's been around for 115 years, be here for another 115 years.
Well, that is just great. For an organization to be around that long, what was it like going back that long? I'm sure you have records of what the technology was like and how it's changing.
Well, I wasn't here 115 years ago, contrary to public opinion. But it's funny, you know, vision issues haven't changed, but technology has. So basically what's happened, what's different today than was years ago is the advent of technology, of iPhones, of large screen TVs, of printing, has really helped people with vision impairments deal with the challenges that they face. But it's always been a challenge for the last 115 years for people with vision impairments.
What was the catalyst? What was it that started the Cleveland Sight Center way back then? There must have been a big need for it, obviously, back then.
There was. Actually, around the country, these facilities like ours were called the Society for the Blind. And it was actually often where the aristocracy, society ladies, could go and take care and provide charity care for people with vision impairments. Today, it's a whole different animal. Today, it's about vision rehab. And our facility and others like us around the nation, we specialize in helping people deal with the vision challenges and live as an independent life as they want.
Where is the Sight Center located?
The Sight Center is in University Circle at the corner of Chester and East 101st.
Have you always been around that same area throughout? Have you? For
the last 50 years, yes. But yeah, but pretty much University Circle or the environs, mm-hmm. Yes. Before
we talk about the Sight Center, what are some things that people should know about someone who might be visually impaired? What's something we should know that maybe we don't know?
Right. Well, it's funny. A common misconception is when a sighted person like myself would see a person who's obviously visually impaired, so you want to help. It's a natural instinct. So you want to just help. So what you don't do is you don't see a person with a visual impairment, a blind person, and just grab them and help them cross the street. You announce your presence. Hey, Dan, I see that you might have a visual impairment. Can I help you? Would you like help crossing the street? And if they do say yes, then you say, okay, then I'm extending my arm, take my arm, and we'll walk across the street. It's as opposed to taking control or attempting to take control of the person, and that's a real problem. So that's the first thing to do.
Well, okay, on that side, what are some things we should know about the Sight Center?
The Sight Center? The Sight Center we have 160 employees, and we provide services for people with vision or blindness across the age spectrum. We have infants, newborns and their parents, and senior citizens and everyone in between. We also have a low vision clinic, so it's basically an eye doctor's office where we perform low vision exams. It takes about a couple of hours. Someone that they're clearly having some serious problem with their vision, they come to our doctors, and our doctors then can help them figure out what kind of interventions, prescriptions, or other tools might help them live a more independent life.
What's the difference between someone who might be low vision as compared with blind?
Okay, well, blindness and legal blindness is definition. It's your vision is in the best eye with correction is 2200, and you have less than 20 degrees of vision, of field of vision. That's what legally blind is. But what much more common condition is a low vision situation. Maybe of cataracts, maybe of some other occlusion that's making your vision difficult. And that's what we see much more than total blindness in people.
You know, I think it's interesting. People who are gradually losing their vision might be so gradual they might not even know they're losing their vision.
That's a really good point, Dan. That's why it's so important to see an eye care professional on a regular basis, and particularly as you get older. In fact, I use readers. I use what we call cheaters, and I'm finding that I've got an appointment in about a month because something's happening in one of my eyes, and I'm feeling that something's not quite right. So when you feel that, you go see your eye care professional and don't wait, because the sooner you go, the sooner you can get it addressed.
Take very good care of your eyes. Yes. I think that's a big important message.
Well, it's essential because we interact with our world visually. Like 90% of what we do and take in is visual. And as soon as you lose that, I mean, go under blindfold for a half an hour and you start to realize how important vision is. It tells you where you are, if you're safe, if danger's coming, what's around you. It's really essential. So you need to take care of your eyes.
I know the Sight Center has a lot of different programs for your clients. Is there a cost related to any of those? Or?
Yeah. There's always a cost for us, but the unemployment rate among people with disabilities and people with vision impairments is 70% or so. So lots of the clients that we see don't have the resources to provide for the services. So we go out and raise money all the time. We can provide financial assistance for folks. The state sometimes will reimburse people or us for services that are provided to folks with an eligible issue, who are eligible. The key is if you think there's a challenge, think you have a problem, call us.
The Sight Center serves all ages. All ages are in need. Talk about some of the programs you have for the youngest, the children.
Okay, we have several programs for children. First, there's a preschool. So every day, children who are 3 to 5 years old come to us for preschool, and it looks just like any other preschool. We also have, for kids 0 to 3, what's called an early intervention program. Early intervention. So imagine you're a parent and you have a newborn child. Delivery's fine, but a few weeks, maybe a couple of months into development, the child doesn't seem to be responding the right way, that maybe the child doesn't smile when a parent walks in the room, or they're not playing with toys or seeing things, and you realize there's a vision problem. After the doctor examines them, we get called in and we go into the home, we work with the parents, and we help the parents make the environment safer for the child. And more importantly, we help the parents learn to become advocates for their children, because they realize that, one, parents are very frightened. It's hard enough to be a parent. But then when you put a disability on top of that, like vision, you really need some tools and resources. And we provide the tools, the resources, and the counseling and the training to help parents have a successful child.
Well, for the children, the parents are their greatest educator.
Absolutely.
And they almost have to be educated too, be able to pass that information on.
And not just you're right, not just educated though, but they have to be empowered. They have to realize that they can do it. And any parents out there that are watching the show, or grandparents, or if you send your, call us and we can help, and we can send someone to the home and help the parents get through this.
So at the Sight Center, you have among your staff, I would assume, some counselors?
We have all kinds of counselors. There's several different kind of credentials for early childhood and infants. We have credentialed folk there. We have social workers and case managers that can deal with adults and younger folk and help them adapt to the changes that they're going through because of their vision challenges.
So there is help. There's plenty of help out there.
Well, there's help and there's hope. Those things are always present. And if you're in a dark place, call us and we can help.
Hope is powerful. Hope is very powerful.
Indeed.
Going back to some of your programs, I understand you have certain type of camps, not just for the kids, but camps for everybody.
Oh, we have a summer camp called Highbrook Lodge, and it's in Chardon, and it's a 90-acre facility. It's beautiful. It was the first summer camp created for people with vision disabilities in the nation. And so now, throughout the summer and in the fall and the winter, various programs, but especially in the summer, we'll have maybe a week for senior citizens, or a weekend for toddlers. Maybe there'll be a 4-day program for teenagers. So all kinds of programming, learn how to swim, you not be afraid of the water, walk in the woods. There are ropes guiding people for trails and throughout the woods, so you can have a really like a lovely camp, rustic kind of setting. It's a beautiful place.
Now, on our show, we deal with our audiences, our senior population. What are some of the programs you have for them?
Well, we have what's called activities of daily living. So if someone's sight is failing, they want to stay in their home, so we can go into the home and help them make it safer. So we have training and products that we can show people how to live successfully. For instance, I have a sample here of a clock. It's a talking clock, and basically, if you push a button.
The time is now 10:38 a.m.
So it tells you the time. We also have a talking scale, which when I step on it says, hey, one at a time. So we try not to push that, but that's another thing you have. We have another kind of tool we have. It's a large type calendar.
Very good. That can come in very helpful for a lot of people, I know.
Absolutely, and so if you open it up, there's space to write where your meetings are, maybe your doctor's appointments, and you can see it. So we have these in our store. And then a really clever item is called a bump dot. And it's just, these are 8 on this package. It's very inexpensive. This might be $1. It's a little adhesive dot. Here, put that on your hand.
Yeah.
So basically it sticks. So what you can do is you can mark things that are important. Imagine that you have a washing machine. You have a washing machine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to know where the start button is. If it's a flat panel, you can't see it. So you put a bump dot on the start button, so it's a reference point. So you can run your hand along the front, you find the dot, that's the start. And then you put another dot at maybe the special setting that you always want. So you put another bump dot there. So you find one, push it, machine starts, find your other dot, and you just go right to the setting you want. You put it on or a coffee maker, on your microwave. So these are the kinds of tools and interventions that we can go into the senior's home and say, hey, let's make this much more manageable for you, much safer, and basically help improve your confidence, and then therefore improve your ability to live freely and independently.
And it's interesting because it's for someone like us, we have our visibility, realize how much of that we take for granted. And for those who are going through that, what they have to do just to make sure everything is where it should be or feel their way around.
And it's funny.
These are great tools.
So what we do, we have a lovely store called the Idea Shop at our facility. So it's one of the first places we'll take someone. There are 800 items in the store. So it's funny, when you walk into the store, our clients or their caregivers are suddenly exposed to things. And oh my goodness, I never thought of that. A talking clock, a talking watch, a cutting board that has two sides. One side's white. So if you put a dark item on it, you can see it. Or you flip it over, it's dark on the other side, so you put a light item so you can cut safer. People say, I never thought of that. What a great solution. It's amazing what the items in the store, the creativity that will spark in someone's mind.
And this Idea Shop is right on the site of the Cleveland Science Center?
Right, the corner of Chester and East 101st. It's right there.
Accessible to anybody?
Absolutely anybody.
Yep,
walk right in. Yep.
Oh, okay. Ohio is becoming an interesting state, I think, right now because of they have their white cane laws. They're doing a lot for the blind people. Can you tell me a bit about the white cane laws?
Sure. The white cane law is actually every state has a white cane law, and the white cane law generally is you'll find it in your traffic safety part of life. It's a law that basically says, driver, if you see a person with a white cane, you have to give them the right of way, or a guide dog, give them the right of way. That's the law in all 50 states. But something interesting happened here as a result of the Cleveland Sight Center's advocacy in Columbus. So the vision rehab services we provide are not covered by insurance. Insurance doesn't cover any of those things. In fact, insurance doesn't even cover the white cane. So if you need a white cane, you have to pay for it out of pocket. That's true in every state, except because of the work we did in Columbus with the state legislature, the law has been changed in Ohio. So the white cane in Ohio is actually classified as durable medical equipment and is covered by Medicaid. We were the first in the nation to have this happen. And so if you have a Medicaid prescription for a white cane, you present it and Medicaid will pay for it. And it's remarkable that happened.
So as a driver, if I'm driving through, down an intersection or in the city and I see someone walking with a white cane, that's a signal to me to be a little bit more cautious, just to watch what I'm doing.
That's common sense, but it's the law that you need to yield the right of way to them. And by the way, it's also against the law for a person who is not blind to be using a white cane. That's against law. It's a misdemeanor in the state of Ohio.
You use a lot of volunteers at the Site Center, don't you?
We have 600 awesome volunteers that do all kinds of activities, from helping us with bookkeeping to radio reading. So we have people that come in and read the newspaper every day, read magazines, come help the children in the preschool. We have an amazing array of volunteers. They're
You always
fantastic.
looking for more?
We're always looking for more. So someone can just go to our website and see the listings, see the listings that we need, or give us a call.
Well, let's go through that. How can someone reach the Site Center?
You can call us at 216-791-8118, and you can go to clevelandsitecenter.org.
Larry, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you,
Boy,
sir.
we sure did learn a lot about the Cleveland Site Center.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you very much, and for all the work you guys do. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
You've been watching Age Friendly Cleveland. I'm your host, Dan Monroe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.